author Paul Rushworth-Brown, and welcome to Book Fair Australia in Sydney. Today I'm here with the wonderful Claudia Harrison, who has just written a novel, Leading Me to You. Claudia, welcome to Book Fair Australia.
Thank you for having me.
So Claudia, tell us about your new novel.
Okay, so this is the first of a couple of novels. And it just initially started with literally a sentence, and I was just saying that just yesterday I was thinking about how it begun, and it was really just, I had this vision of a little girl sitting under a tree, which is kind of what I used to do when I was a kid back in the 80s in Sydney, and the trees were so large and beautiful, and she sat at this tree and then she just turned into a different character. Basically the story from that evolves into a story about a lady who is a mum and a wife, which is what I know really well. That's what I was raised to be, as a mum and a wife. And she was like, living this life, and she thought it was the life that she always wanted to live. But at the same time, she was feeling like something was missing, and so she steps out one day, she's got the shits with a hubby, and she steps out to do something a little different. So instead of coming home and doing the cleaning and the cooking and looking after children, she goes out for a coffee, and this guy recognises her, and he puts her in touch with her friend, and her friend is someone she hasn't seen since she was 13, and this is the kid that is at that tree that I was talking about. She hasn't seen her since she was 13, and this lovely girl, her name is Chloe, and Chloe actually is only 5 days from dying from a terminal illness. And I know it sounds really awful, but it's a beautiful story of bonding. So these two bond over these 5 days. Not exactly the whole 5 days, but a big part of those 5 days. And in that process, Emma learns all these things about her life that she didn't know about. And so what happens is that she then goes on this crazy journey where she's trying to overcome grief at the same time as, unknowing what she now knows. So I want to lead this path that I've always been raised to live, but this new life keeps just drawing her in a different direction. So it's the story of Emma and what happens with her. There's a bit of love, and there's a lot of, family conflict.
Sounds very emotional.
It is.
So is this going to make me cry?
Yeah. Probably when Chloe dies, you'll cry.
Oh no!
And I think you'll enjoy. It's very easy to read, which is a wonderful thing. And then I just followed it on with a story of a love-hate character in here, a character that you kind of get to know through the book, and you're like, do I like this person? Do I hate this person? And her name is Heather, and that's in the following book, which is called Remind Me, and it's actually set 30 years before Emma.
Okay.
So yeah.
So is it a continuation?
It is.
Yeah, okay,
it is, but a continuation, but in reverse. Like you're kind of like filling in the blanks between when Heather and then the connection to Emma.
Okay.
And Chloe and this whole story. So now writing the third one. Yep.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, you two novels under your belt. You've got a third one on the way.
I do.
What do you think literary success is for you?
Yeah, so I give this a lot of thought. This is a hard one for me because I just love writing. So I wrote for the love of writing.
Right.
I didn't actually ever think I would be publishing a book, but then I thought, I love this book so much, I just wanted to share it with people. Yeah. And I feel like most people have enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed writing it.
Okay, wonderful.
So that to me is a huge element of success.
Yeah.
It doesn't even feel successful to me when I sell a book as much as when I get a feedback from someone who sends you like that message and says, oh my God, I love this so much, I couldn't put it down. If people tell me that, then I feel successful.
I have a similar philosophy. If one person reads my novel and they say they enjoyed it, that's success to me.
Yeah.
And I've always made a point of not writing just for the sake of being famous or for making money. I think my main motivator for writing is actually for my kids, basically, to give them a background into their ancestral history. But anyway, tell me, do you think an ego is a good thing or a bad thing for an author?
This is an interesting question. So ego, I guess, well, for someone like me who probably really struggles with self-confidence, believe it or not, most people that know me don't think that that's what I am, but I do really struggle, especially in this element, because I'm not a professional writer, but I've written a book that I know is good and I love it so much, you know, and so sometimes if I had an ego, I think maybe I would, or if I suppose felt, I relate ego to confidence maybe. Is that how you would relate ego to confidence?
Yeah, I mean, I think confidence is part of it. I think to be a writer, to be an author, especially a published author, you need to have some sort of ego and some sort of confidence to actually put your name out there. Because if you, I mean, it's as you're probably aware, being an author is ups and downs. You know, you have your good days, you have your bad days, you have your good reviews, you have your bad reviews. Most authors turn around to me and say, "Oh, what bad reviews?" Lucky them.
Yeah, well, that would be me, and I wish I had some bad reviews, but I'm also, I have that element of fear of bad reviews, and I suppose that's where the ego comes into it. If I push myself out there a little bit more, then I guess I know I would definitely get bad reviews, because, you know, I'm an amateur author, but at the same time, when other people who don't write look at it and read it and say, wow, you wrote this, like, you can't call yourself that, but I see myself as that in that sense. So I think when it comes to ego, you really got to establish, you know, I don't want to be overconfident, but at the same time, I don't want to be underconfident. So I think there's positives and negatives to that, if that makes sense. And you mentioned before about you write for your kids. I didn't write for my kids, but I wrote so my kids know they can do anything they want to do.
Sure, that's a good motivator.
Yeah, I just want them to say, oh my gosh, my mum did so many things, and I do a lot of things, but my mum did so many things. There's nothing stopping me from doing as many things, if not more than her.
Sure.
Yeah.
Step into the captivating world of skullduggery, where a family of isolated peasant copyholders finds themselves thrust into a web of danger that threatens their very existence. Set against the tumultuous backdrop of the English Reformation, this meticulously researched historical mystery unfolds with a cast of both lovable and despicable characters, immersing you in a fully realized world that's both utterly believable and fantastically unbelievable. Author Paul Rushworth-Brown weaves a spellbinding narrative that transports you to Yorkshire, England, in the 16th and 17th centuries, offering an authentic and gritty portrayal of peasant life. The pages come alive with vivid descriptions, crafting an atmosphere that pulls you deeper into a story of crime, murder.
Great. Now, okay, so you're working on your third novel. If you could talk to that beginning author that started writing the first novel, what would you say to her?
I'd say keep writing and keep putting yourself out there, because I guess if you don't put yourself out there, you don't know what you're doing wrong and you don't know what you're doing right. And I think that you're an author for so many different audiences. Like, you might not love what I write, but somebody else might really enjoy it and it be for them. And it's okay. And I guess that's what I would probably say. It's okay. You don't have to please everyone. You know, you ultimately, I believe you've got to write for you know? And if you happen to touch many people's lives, then you're in a great space, right?
Great. Yeah. You've got a great attitude. All right. So, Claudia, it's been wonderful talking to you, and thank you for joining the show. And good luck with your fantastic looking novel, Leading Me to You.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.